Today we're going to talk about an amazing thing that happened in my life. I'm going to blow y'all's mind right now.
Blow it.
You can blow it, man.
It's taken a while. It's taken a while for this to happen, but I have rolled credits in Cyberpunk 2077.
Woo!
Who would have thought?
It's not worth doing that either.
Did you roll credits in Austin?
I can't remember, actually.
Really?
I don't remember. We have to
Probably
look at
didn't
the
then.
review then.
Don't you dare ask me.
I already know about you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
What happens at the end? Spoilers.
okay. Spoilers. Everybody dies. No, I'm just kidding.
No, Brett beat a game.
There's five. There's five different endings to it, so it depends
So you
on
have
the
to
ending
play
that you
again.
chose. I think I got the best ending.
Okay.
There's this. So yeah, I am
You
going to
actually
say
beat it?
spoilers. 100% spoilers. If you have not beat Cyberpunk 2077,
And you
jump
wanna
forward
know
5 minutes.
What happens?
And you want to know
5 minutes? Damn.
Yeah,
this
because I'm not
could
going to spend that much time.
be- Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, 2 minutes, let's say. So I'm a big fan of Pan Am in the game. Think she's super hot. Think she's super cool.
Of course, everyone
So I
does.
went down the quest line of
Yeah.
like helping her and her bros at the All Dorados or whatever camp. And then by doing that, that opened up the ability for me to have her help in the end game. If you didn't go down that quest line and finish it, then you can't call her at the end game. You basically get to this point where you're like, you got to raid the Arasaka Tower and take shit out and like, you know, go into this AI terminal thing. And then you get in the AI terminal and then this girl named, I forgot her name, Ava, Ali, something like that.
Yeah, not important.
She's an AI that basically is going to help you take this little thing out of your head that's fucking with you, you know, or take Johnny Silverhand out of your head. So I call up Pan Am and the Eldorados, and they help me go in there and break in. And then the dude Saul, he dies because he gets killed by Adam Smasher, who does show up, and he's like this freaking brute robot guy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh fuck, that's crazy. And then we eventually make it through there, and then I get to the point of the AI where they take it out, but they basically said, regardless of what you just did, you're gonna die either way. So I have a choice because right now my brain my body is more attuned to Johnny Silverhand than it is V. So I can give my body up to Johnny Silverhand and let him live off the life in my body, and I kill myself. Or I have about 6 months to live and I can just live off and do whatever I want. So I chose, I'm just going to live off my life and not tell anybody and then just see what happens. So I do that. I get out. Johnny Silverhand dies. Me and Pan Am go off in the sunset, cross the border,
Wait,
and we live happily
live?
ever after. Well, for 6 months.
Well, in
Oh.
the new
You said Johnny
DLC,
Hill. Oh.
you remember he's coughing up blood, and you still have only a certain amount of time to live. And he's Elba's like, oh, you got to do all this mission stuff. But Johnny Silverhand is still there, I thought. in the
Yeah,
new
well,
DLC.
I'm curious to know how they handle the different endings because there was one ending you could have gone where you gave up your body to Johnny Silverhand to go take down Arasaka.
Yeah.
Which is like this one where you just go in there like balls to the wall and just go crazy and take shit down. And that one, like V dies or whatever. And
Yeah.
then Johnny Silverhand just like takes over. And then there was another ending where you like end up in space for whatever reason. Oh, because you like do what this girl asks you to do and you side with her and then she ends up putting you up in space. And then there was several different endings that just had different outcomes. But this one was pretty solid. But all that to be said, spoilers ended.
Roll credits.
Roll credits. I beat Cyberpunk 2077, and I will say that the game definitely has shown a huge increase in quality since then. One thing I noticed is that when I have ray tracing on, this game still runs like a slog. Like I barely get 30, 50, 40 frames per second on my 3070. So I turned ray tracing off, and then I was able to max everything out, and now I'm getting like 60 frames per second. So it's like running a lot better with ray tracing turned off. So I disabled that. It still looks really good. It's totally fine. And got through the game. They did a good job with the. I love the world in this game. Honestly, I think the world is really good. The side quests in this game are some of the best side quests I've ever experienced. You were talking earlier about Final Fantasy, and that it's like a bunch of fetch quests. These side quests are so rich. I started doing this one side quest where I found out about this guy who apparently had some childhood trauma with his dad, who made him like milk cows at this warehouse. So he went on this fucked up shit where he like literally was like kidnapping children and convincing them through the internet that they need help and that he would help them. So he brought him to his little warehouse and like hooked him up to these cow milking things. And it was an hour and a half long side quest that I had to go through all these different steps to identify who this guy was, where he was keeping the children, and get there and take care of it. And it's like, it was a side quest. It was just like this dude called me up, one of my buddies, and was like, hey, I need help with something. And if you chose to do that, it opened up this hour and a half long experience that was really, really good and deep and fucked up, but interesting.
My side quest was taking a guy whose dick was freaking out and he had to get it replaced.
His dick?
Yeah, I did that one too. That was funny.
What was his dick doing?
I don't know, some
Was it
mechanical
like-
dick. It was like,
Helicopter?
yeah, no, it wasn't even helicopter. It was just,
Spin.com?
it was just
Don't look that up. No, I'm serious. Don't look that up. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
no, I believe it.
Do you want to look it up?
No,
I was like, this is the best side quest that I could find. I'm done with this game.
there's a lot of other really
There's
good
a
side quests. So there's some side quests that are like whatever, because there's some that have like a prefix before them where it's just like you go and fight up a bunch of mobs or whatever.
Yeah.
But the ones that have just like a title that are really unique are really good. Like I did one called "Killing in the Name of," and so there's a lot of them at the end that are based off of like rock songs and stuff.
That's cool.
And the Killing in the Name of one was you go and meet one of Johnny Silverhand's old rockers, and you give up your body to Johnny Silverhand by taking this pill, and then he can then talk to this guy, and they decide to bring the band back again and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting, kind of seeing those character dynamics play out and kind of expanding the universe and everything. And all that was really cool.
This is another game that would like taken over my life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's
Yeah.
just like it's
Thought you got
just
it.
so in. I got it from Brett.
Oh, then
and
you're
I
like,
played
fuck
it.
this game.
Well, it's just too much, man.
Oh,
It's just
I see,
like
I see.
way too much. You got to find that balance,
yeah.
I just feel like there's too much in general for this, and I was like, I don't want. There's
There's
a
a lot to it. The other thing that I didn't
Waste
like,
of time.
you know how a lot of RPGs are set up where like you get inventory and you have to upgrade that inventory, and then some of the stuff just looks like shit. This game has that where like for probably half the game I was playing with a bunch of outfits that just like pants and shirts and stuff that just looked dumb and stupid, but they were better than my other stuff. So I had to put it on. Eventually I found out that there's a way I can build my own custom outfit at my house, and I think that was an add-on that they made where it basically you have a fixed look, and then whatever you upgrade just never changes, which is good for the physical appearance. So I was like, okay,
That's
cool.
nice.
Yeah, I was
But that-
wearing some weird stuff.
Yeah. I had like freaking pink pants for like half the game. And I was like, okay, this is dumb. But so a lot of that was kind of stupid. But I mean, it's a deep RPG, a lot of mechanics to change up. I love how like, as you're playing through it, there's this whole, as you level up certain aspects of your character, like it gives you different dialogue options in the game that you otherwise wouldn't have had. All that to be said, I know that they're still about to change the game significantly with the launch of Phantom Liberty coming out in September. So that's kind of crazy that's like around the corner. Brand new DLC. It's supposed to be pretty intensive, and there's a lot of people that have early access to it now and are basically like, this thing completely changes the game, and it's incredible.
Yeah, it's supposed to change everything about the game.
Yeah.
From what I hear.
Which is very wild. So I'm interested
little,
to
too
see
late?
where that is. But is it? That's what I'm curious about. It's like, maybe it's not.
Maybe I'll
bring people back,
replay it, start it over whenever Phantom comes out.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll fix like a lot of things that just seem redundant to me, and I'm just like, this is kind of weird.
Well, I am curious if it's like worth going back to play the story once this comes out. Like if the changes are going to be enough to like make it worth your while.
Probably.
Yeah, could be. I mean, I don't know.
Dang.
They do say that there's so the DLC is going to let's see here. It will let you respec your character, which is really nice. You're going to have respec finally, which is good. There's also going to be, you can redistribute your character attributes, reset perks, and basically revamp the character completely without having to restart the game. There's going to be a whole new area. NPCs paying notice to your character more, new animations in the Ripper dock, some other stuff here. The whole new area sounds like it's pretty expansive and pretty cool, so I'm excited for that. But apparently the performance is really solid. A lot of new core updates to the whole game of like the world and everything like that. Entire skill tree getting reworked, stat upgrades, things of that nature. So I'm I'm hopeful. What I'm curious about is like, will this have the potential to bring people back and actually cement? One, can this count for a game of the year with a big upgrade like this?
No.
Could it be qualified for that? No.
No.
What do you think?
I don't think so.
No. Yeah. Okay. And then is it going to be enough to like be like, okay, yeah, looking back, this is actually a really good game. It just fucked up. Can it have the No Man's Sky return?
No.
We shouldn't afford that to anyone anymore.
Yeah.
No.
That ship has sailed and gone.
But we did for No Man's Sky.
Well, yeah.
That was the only game that's done that?
But what if this did it again?
I don't think it can. A lot of games have
don't-
attempted
But
to
what
do
if
that.
it does? That's what I'm
Oh,
asking.
what if it does?
If it does pull out No Man's Sky and it's able to like come back and this game just works great and this new story is great and does everything No Man's Sky did, will we give it the benefit? Will we be like,
I don't think
yes,
it
I'm
can.
happy like we did with No Man's Sky?
No, because I still wasn't happy with No Man's Sky. So
Okay.
I mean, I'll be like, yeah, it's great that it's fixed now, but I'm not going to be screaming from the rooftops like, oh my gosh, it's better now. Finally, thank goodness everyone should play this game.
Are you going to play it, Austin?
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you tell me if I should.
Okay.
Because I don't want to jump back into this game.
Yeah.
I think, what's his face? He's in there.
Idris Elba?
he's
Yeah.
Idris Elba.
I mean, it's cool to see him in the game, and I would love to play alongside of him, but I don't know. I went back recently, earlier this year, I think, to try to play it, and I was just like, man, it's just a slog, in my opinion. It's a big slog.
Yeah. I loved it. I rolled credits at 39 hours.
Nice.
So that's how long it took me to get through it. I did a lot of side quests. I think the map update's really good. They didn't have the dynamic filter, I don't think, at the beginning of the game. I freaking love the dynamic filter because there's a lot of shit that unlocks in this game after a while.
Oh,
There's a
yeah.
whole bunch of side quests I didn't even touch
There's a
because it's just
shit ton.
overwhelming. Because I don't want to see it all,
Yeah.
They did a good job with the fast travel points in this because there's fast travel points everywhere.
Yeah.
So you don't have to drive anywhere, which is nice. And I got a bunch of cars now, so I just have to summon the car and it just like pops up and I can just like cruise around the town and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it takes away a lot of the bullshit in that aspect of it, which I appreciated quite a bit. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see if it'll be able to save itself and come back. Like I wanted it so badly for this game to like do really well.
Oh, man.
And now that
Me
I
too.
beat it and rolled the credits and stuff, like the main story I have some issues with. Just like there's just some parts I just didn't really care much about. But like I said, some of the side quests were so good, and it's a very deep game, kind of like the deepness of Baldur's Gate in a sense. Unfortunately, it came out super broken.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
I thought Keanu Reeves' character was pretty monotone.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I don't know if he should have been in here. I think that gave this game too much hype that it probably needed. Like, it was already hyped. Everyone was excited, but then it was like, oh my gosh, he's going to be in here.
That's true. Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like his storyline wasn't that great.
How come?
I thought it was pretty
It just
decent.
didn't appeal to me. Like,
But why?
I don't know. I don't like this whole, like, he was this badass rocker who didn't care about living or dying, and then he went to go
was
destroy
breaking
the
down the
corpos
system, dude.
and stuff. And yeah, I don't know. It just felt like it all didn't all mesh well, especially with the city. And I don't know if that's because there's like glaring bugs and issues and hardware issues with this game that just I couldn't get sucked into it. And I felt like a lot of the mechanics were at the time. I mean, I don't remember how well they were fixed now, but like they just didn't. It wasn't a cohesive, solid game, and I felt like the story just kind of lacked overall. Like the big points that I remember playing, like nothing stood out of like, oh, okay, now this game's getting going. We got these cool characters. The whole thing's making sense. We're really getting on this roll. We're gonna get the big bad guys.
Yeah.
I just didn't feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there was definitely there was some really good twists and turns that happened throughout the story, but it wasn't like start to finish like mind blowing.
Yeah,
And
gripping
then
and
the thing that really bothered me is the idea of the thing in your head like glitching out and stuff like that was cool in theory.
yeah,
But it just like broke the gameplay immersion like a lot, especially towards the end. I'm just like every freaking 10 minutes I'm playing the game, he's like, oh, relic malfunction. And he, like, falls down, and it's like it throws off the
story,
actual
yeah.
gameplay part of it, which
And you can
bothered
tell
me a
this
little
game
bit.
was kind of like rushed and thrown together, and the story wasn't fully fleshed out. I mean, just look at Edge Runners. We talked about that after I finished it, and it's like, why wasn't that the story for this game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's what really brought back Cyberpunk in a big way. That's why a lot of people came back to it and wanted to play it again. That's the reason why I picked it up to play it again.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a slog.
Yeah.
It is. It feels like a slow slog.
Yeah.
That's really sad.
It is sad.
I'll probably play it again when Liberty.
Yeah.
Pain? Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
Phantom Liberty.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy the world. I mean, if I were to like rate this game now, I mean, I would. It's a solid 8 out of 10. I don't. I mean, it's not going to be like, oh man, this is a masterpiece like I was hoping it would have been. I mean, because the idea was that this is going to be one of those generational defining games,
Right.
like we talked about Baldur's Gate, and it definitely was not. Visually, it's stunning, but like you said, it's just definitely they rushed it out, which they didn't. I mean, they didn't
really
rush it
rush
out.
it.
I think the problem was that they just like weren't able. I think this is a game that had scope creep.
Well,
like, through and
technically,
through.
they did rush it because when it got announced the release date, apparently devs were like, what? I thought this was coming out in a year. Like, they
you're
were
saying-
not
yeah.
expecting it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they've been.
But they were working on it for
promoting
7
this-
years,
yeah.
though.
Oh, I
That's the
understand.
thing.
I understand
So
that, yeah.
it was, in that sense, it wasn't rushed. It was just that
Technically, yes.
they were just like it's scope creep. I mean, that's ultimately what it was. I think they spent too much time on trying to make this world as immersive as possible, and then they kind of failed to like deliver on some of the fix
That's
the
true.
bugs
That's
and then
true.
deliver on some of the story
because
bits.
they were marketing things about this game apparently that they weren't about to put in the game.
Yeah.
So that's why. And then there was like the big hype. There was a big marketing hype, and then they got a big infusion of money early on. Not early on, but like once like we were getting really close to launch time, and then this is what we got.
Yeah.
I mean, it was so bad. PlayStation was accepting refunds online. Like, that's bad. GameStop was accepting refunds for PlayStation discs because this game was just so messed up.
Well, there's even stuff like, they have the, what do they call it? The brain dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They had a
yeah.
whole like developer diary thing about brain dance. That's a feature that they put so much time into that really wasn't that fun to do.
No, it was
and they
boring.
could have just
Wasn't.
cut that out and not even included that in the game.
I was
Because in the
confused
game
on that.
itself,
I was just
yeah.
like, what the fuck?
And in the game itself, like it showed up like 4 times throughout the course. Like when I started back into it after about 22 hours in the game, 22 to 39 hours, I did it once, and that was on a side quest. No, twice. Once in a main story, once in a side quest, and that was it. So I was like, they could have cut that out, eliminated that. I mean, there's like the whole hacking direction you can go. You can go the whole like brawler aspect. There's a lot of different pathways you can be, which I thought was really cool. But I think there's a little bit they could have cut back on and really focus in on the core gameplay stuff.
Right.
And one other thing I really would like to see them do, what I wish they would have done with this game is, as excited as I was for this to be first person, this should have been a third person game. Because like when you get into, I love the shooting.
agree.
The shooting first person is good, but if you go the melee katana route, which is what I was doing a lot of,
Yep.
it just sucks.
Sucks.
As you go to something, it's just like I'm just swiping away at, but they're like in my face on my screen, and it's just like not super. I mean, you can't tell what's happening. And then there was times where I would run in there and be like katana. I jump around, but it's just like I'm just blindly running around at this point because I can't even see my character and what they're doing. Yeah,
That's hilarious.
so I'm surprised that they went that route and invested into the first person.
Because The Witcher was such a good third person game.
Yeah.
Action adventure game.
Yeah.
It's like, stay in your lane, bro. Why are you trying to change it up? I guess because they had like guns, they wanted to be first person. I don't know.
If they had cut out the katana aspect to it, like they could have gone first person, it would have been totally fine.
Yeah.
But it was fun to play with the katana and have the blades, the dual blades. I forgot they were called the mantis blades. Like those were really cool too. But
You'll get those
not
later
first
in the
person.
game.
Yeah.
So I was, and it was in the skill tree, right? You had to
Yeah. You had to
open it
lock
up in the skill
yeah.
tree. It's like, it's not even worth going to that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use my guns. Just power up my guns.
I did. I ended up using my Manta Blades a lot, though. They were really cool.
Okay,
because I could
cool.
just go in there like two slashes, and they were dead.
Oh, I see.
And then I had when I finished the game, I had like 170 health stim pack things.
Oh,
so I can
damn.
just run in there, just like stim pack, stim pack, and just go crazy.
Well, that was the thing. Like, I got so many like buffs and health stuff and things that I was like, I didn't even use any of it. It was just there.
Oh, and I beat the game and I never crafted once. There's a whole crafting system in this
I
game.
know,
I never even touched it.
I had to touch it just because it was like, oh,
well, there's probably a point where it told us to or whatever.
yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I could craft things. Okay, I don't care.
Yeah.
So,
Well, it sounds like, I mean, it's gonna be really, really hard for Phantom Liberty to bring this game back. But I'm excited having beat the game now, and I'm glad I beat it because I enjoyed this game a lot, but it's just so flawed. But it definitely there's so much good here that it's hard. It was hard not to finish it because there's so much I love about it. But I hope Phantom Liberty comes out and just like blows our minds and is actually like pretty impressive. And it works. That's the big thing is it needs to work. But we'll see. If it doesn't, then I don't know. I'm concerned about the future of CD Projekt Red, to be honest.
yeah. Don't they have a Witcher remake coming out soon? And
I think so.
I thought they had something with The Witcher.
yeah.
They're working on a new Witcher too, I think. So
Okay, yeah, that's right.
all kinds of shit.
Interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. Well, at least if they go back to Witcher, we know that they can make that mostly good. I think.
I don't know. I mean,
Yeah, not after this. Who knows?
who knows?
We would hope that they can, but we'll see.
Yeah. So Cyberpunk 2077, we got Phantom Liberty coming out on, let me see what the exact date is so I don't say it wrong. I believe it is going to be on
A day.
September 25th.
There it is.
And I also want to mention it is a $30 DLC. You got to pay for it.
So it's going to be 5 hours long.
Oh my god.
No, I think it'll be pretty extensive.
Yeah, I think it will too.
Yeah. So if you pre-order it, you get a Quadros Sport R7 Vigilante.
Yay.
Brand new story, create your own play style, decide how the story ends. It's a spy thriller adventure. Ooh.
It better be good, man. I swear.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
It better make me want to download Cyberpunk again.
Hopefully I'm still engrossed in Starfield and just, forget
That
about
would be
Phantom
great.
Liberty.
That would be awesome. Awesome.
We'll see.
Our Starfield's so bad, we're just like, all right, gonna play Cyberpunk.
Yep.
Yep. All right. That's it.
Woo.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk. Right back to it again.
We can't get rid of Cyberpunk.
No, we can't. We're gonna talk about it again.
Talk about it
Play
again.
the Phantom Liberty.
Hell yeah,
Pain,
buddy.
or whatever it's called.
Phantom Livery of Pain.
Pain in my ass.
With beating Cyberpunk, that means I have now completed 10 games this year.
Oh,
Very proud of you.
Wow.
I don't even know how many I've played this year. Probably less, actually.
Yeah.
You get the easy games to rack up your total.
What do you mean easy games, bro?
Yeah,
I
the 4 or 5 hour games.
I beat Hogwarts Legacy. I beat Inscription. That was almost 20 hours long. I beat God of War Ragnarok. I beat Sparks of Hope. That was long as shit. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Back for Blood I counted. Just because, we basically beat that game.